Can I give you some brutal truth? Like some real honest truth? Most businesses cannot sell up and they can't market down. What do I mean by that? They struggle to position themselves in a way that earns the attention of high value buyers while also failing to resonate with the very people who actually influence purchasing decisions. And here are three things to know to do differently. It takes a lot to grow your business. A lot of audience attracting, a lot of lead scoring, a lot of channel managing, plus a lot of long days, a lot of late nights, and a lot of weekends. And a lot of wishing there was an easier way to do all of this. But with Breeze, HubSpot's new collection of AI tools, it's easier than ever for marketers to attract audiences, increase leads, and score customers fast, which only means one thing. Pretty soon, your company will have a lot to celebrate. Visit HubSpot.com/marketers to learn more today. Number one, realize your messaging isn't just about what you say, it's about who hears it. Your message has to land differently depending on the audience. No rinse and repeat, no copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Be unique per your audience segment. Selling up, speak in outcomes and business impact because executives care about risk, revenue, and long term value. People who are decision makers, who have the key to the contract being signed, the key to it being paid, being sent, being purchased. They care about mitigating the risk, maximizing the ROI or the revenue generated, and long term value for the investment to be approved to be the go ahead. Secondly, marketing down, focus on relevance and usability. The people engaging with your content need to see themselves in your brand reflected before they advocate for it internally. If you're pitching to an enterprise brand, you need to build relationships with the very people you want to help. And how you're articulating your message, what they see, what they hear, the stories you tell, the advantages all need to align around who they are, how they think, and what terms they speak, what matters the most to them, to then help you convert them to be a champion for you, to advocate for you, to drive this thing home.
What's up, digital world? You're listening to the I Digress audio experience with Troy Sandidge. Social media, marketing, storytelling, business, culture, and more. Coming to you in 3, 2, 1.
Number two, you need to learn how to balance attraction, activation, and advocacy. And y'all know I love my alliteration. I'm going to say it again. You need to learn how to balance your attraction, your activation, and your advocacy. Attraction. When I talk about attraction, I mean position your brand in a way that earns credibility with decision makers while capturing attention from the frontline operators. When I mean activation, I mean deliver marketing that compels people to take action, whether that's booking a call, whether that's making a purchase, whether that's bringing your solution to their leadership team for consideration, whether that's a referral, whether that's engagement, whether that's signing up for your newsletter, whether that's watching, viewing, listening, reading something. Drive action. Forget making it perfect. Start the activation, expand on it later. Most people get this wrong. They feel it needs to be perfect. They need SOPs. They need so much infrastructure. And here's the thing, you could build this all out, test it, and it fail. Well, I could have just done the bare minimum and it would have failed anyway. Or I would have learned what really is needed, which allows me to actually go to market with this thing faster. So learn how to activate better. And lastly, the advocacy Equip your audience with messaging that makes it easy for them to sell your product internally. If your buyers have to explain your value to their boss and you haven't already framed that conversation for them, you've lost. Now, enterprise, SaaS, they do this very well. They're trained to do that because they're dealing with big buyers, a long life cycle to get the conversion, and you're trying to build up the cadence for a higher LTV and a low CAC. But you can apply that same somewhat mentality and framing for your small business, for your consulting business, for your nonprofit. Frame the whole thing to eliminate the no and the friction to make it easier to say yes. Attraction, activation, and advocacy. And lastly, number 3, tailor your communication based on perception, positioning, and profitability. Yeah, I love my alliterations. Perception, positioning, and profitability. Bad marketing speaks the same way to everyone. Smart marketing adapts to speak to people specifically. The C-suite needs to hear how you drive ROI, return on investment, and competitive advantage. But the mid-level manager needs to know how your solution makes their job easier and more effective. But those on the front lines, the frontline users, need to feel confident that your product or service actually solves their problem. So the big takeaway, the biggest mistake businesses are making, they assume their messaging works for everyone. But in reality, if you can't sell up, if you can't market down, you'll struggle to gain traction at every level. To win, you don't just need better marketing. You need marketing that moves through the entire decision-making chain. You follow? Are we on the same page? Do you comprehend? So the 3 things again. Your messaging isn't just about what you say. It's about who hears it. You need to balance attraction, activation, and advocacy. You need to tailor your communication based on perception, positioning, and profitability. Through these 3 areas, you should be improving and selling up and improving and marketing down. You don't win games off field goals. You better start getting those touchdowns. We have to really move these needles forward. We got to do what we need to do. I challenge you this year, instead of always deviating and saying, I don't know how to sell, no matter who you are, what you do, or what role or title you have, we're all in sales. And once again, we're all in marketing. So it's less about what you don't know, what you don't have. Get the right framing to apply yourself. In both cases, whether you're selling up or marketing down, it comes to framing the conversation and giving immense value within the conversation. And let's go macro for a second. Who are we having the conversation with? What is the conversation about? How are we communicating? What's the why? Where's the value? Do that well. Frame it for the sell up, frame it for the market down. You want to sell up the pipeline? You want to market down the funnel? You can do this. I truly believe in you. It doesn't have to be as complicated as we think. Let's make it as simple as possible. And maybe I'll challenge you a step further. Some of it may be, instead of looking at things as only sales and only marketing, what if we see it with our right and left hook as all of its communication? All of it is being an advocate, driving action that attracts the people to have the conversations, the people to refer you business, the people to give you the ins and outs. This works, this doesn't work. All of it. Content is profit. Hosted by Luis and Fonzie Cameo, is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. Discover the secrets and strategies on how your business can achieve the frictionless sale. They talk about frameworks, they talk about strategies, they talk about tactics, and they bring on special guests to bring you all the information you need in order to turn your content into profit. Ooh, that sounds like an ideal podcast for my audiences to listen to today. You'll hear from top entrepreneurs, creators, and anything and everything you need to know about content. All this while having a great time, being entertained, educated, and empowered. From Red Bull to Chet Holmes International to Orange Theory Fitness to Jacksonville Wealth Builders and so much more, you will finally discover how to bridge the gap between your content and your revenue. Listen to Content is Profit wherever you get your podcasts. How you communicate and your framing and your positioning determines your perception. The perception determines the value to choose you, which drives the profitability for you. I feel like I'm spitting game right now. So I'm hoping you're receiving these value coins because I want you to load up so you can start putting these coins into the very areas you need to actually get the bag this year, to actually drive money this year, to actually add that extra zero, to make your business, your small business profitable, to make your enterprise more sustainable, to make your startup more scalable. I want everyone to shift gears from making excuses, being so reactive to what the market is giving you, being proactive to what marketing can do for you. The right positioning can activate the right conversations to astronomically catapult you to drive more sales. We have to embrace these things and be more real and be more honest about where we are, but also we're one conversation away from where we want to be. It doesn't have to be volume game. It might be volume in process and in practice and in proactivity, but one conversation, one check, one proposal, one swipe of a pen, one purchase could change the whole game for you this year. I think we all can do better at selling up and marketing down. And the other thing to think about is sometimes we can be so desensitized with how we've always done it, we don't consider how to be fresh about it. How do we frame this a different way? And maybe that's bringing in outside help to help you do that. What's up? I'm Troy Sandidge, an award-winning podcaster with over 1 million downloads, a consultant who has helped brands generate $175 million, and a speaker at over 600 events. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the thing. Behind the scenes, I struggle to manage it all. I've created over 120 podcast episodes. Now think about all the content you've created. Blogs, videos, newsletters. Imagine the opportunities we're all missing because we're not repurposing and monetizing our best work. Frustrating, isn't it? A good friend of mine put me on GetResponse's content monetization plan. It's got everything you need to turn your knowledge into reoccurring revenue without the hassle of juggling multiple platforms. From email marketing to course creation, it's all under one roof. Let me show you how it works. Here are the 3 game-changing features that are working for me. AI-powered course creation. Quickly turn your expertise into valuable courses. You'll literally be earning while you sleep. Night-night. Paid newsletters. Add value for your audience and start generating consistent income. Creator profile, a dedicated space for all of your premium content that you can share with your audience. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. GetResponse also has all the tools you need to grow and nurture your email list seamlessly. It's time to stop leaving money on the table. Creatives, podcasters, entrepreneurs, let's make 2025 your most profitable year yet. Start today with GetResponse. Optimize and grow. Tia. I was just talking to someone the other day about sometimes people gateway creativity when in actuality creativity shouldn't have a quotient to it. As a matter of fact, I recently made a post on LinkedIn. If you want to check it out, go to my LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/findtroy. And the LinkedIn post I'm talking about had a graphic snapshot of my McDonald's order. This is by McDonald's on a Spotify playlist. And they put songs, and each word is or phrase is a title of a song that spells this out. I'm going to read it out. Hello, can I get a Big Mac? No pickles, extra ketchup, small French fries, and also one larger than life, Sprite, that will be all. Thanks. I can't even imagine what it took to get the buy-in to drive that creativity. Now, here's the thing about that example. For starters, some creative things don't need approval. Not everything needs to be the "so where's the value" play conversation. If you want to stand out, you have to be creative. And if you want to spark engagement, sharing, and people talking about you have to be creative. We're transitioning now where social media is literally changing forever. It's really about the dark social. It's really about people being private. Instagram changing a thing where now whatever you like, people are going to see. That's when you pop up in the right hand corner as you're scrolling down. So that means less people are going to like your stuff. So they're going to be privately engaging with it. So we're not going to know on the front end how well we're doing. We're going to know on the back end how well we're popping off by the private conversations, the private communities, the private groups. So creativity is going to be our way to attract people in the macro to drive people to the micro. So we need to be more creative in how we're getting this across, which goes to the attraction, the activation, and the advocacy, which goes to it's not just about what you say, it's about who hears it. The more people hear it, hopefully, the odds are that the more of the right people are hearing it within the micro. But in the macro, you're at least becoming more relevant, more familiar. I may not be shopping for a car right now, but if I see you enough times, when I need to buy that car, I may think of a Toyota. I may think of a Jaguar. I may think of a Lexus. I may think of a Tesla because of the framing and the positioning and the perception. Now that I have the profit, now that I have the money to drive it home, which drives profitability. I'm trying to connect all the dots here. But that spark, that catalyst, was the creativity to capture my attention, to drive that attraction, to push that activation, to enable the advocacy. We're either not tapping into being more creative or we're restricting our creativity by, I need to see the value quantifiably right now. Again, a playlist of finding songs organized in a way that reads in order, such a creative thing to get people to talk about it. And again, you can't track that. It's not like people clicking all these links. You see how many people click on the link, how many people watched it, and you can't track that in that same way. But you have to trust that creative is so strong, so unique to us, so refreshing, so dope to our audience that they will do the work for us, which we're advocating to evangelize, to championize other people to help us make money, to help us stay at business, to help us drive a better impact. Yeah, the hard truth is most people can't sell up and market down, but you can turn this around real quick. Let me give you some help. You listen to this episode right now, or maybe you're reading my newsletter, Strategize, Market, Grow, which you can go on LinkedIn right now and experience it. The link will also be in the show notes. It will be a weekly newsletter to activate and engage, and I'll intertwine previous episodes of I Digress, driving the value and insights on me. So it's a different way, different medium for us to communicate, more two-way, engaging conversation. So please subscribe to my newsletter. Making that connection with people really can help people move things forward. And I think people don't do that enough. They get so desensitized in whatever they've done or how they always done it, however they approach social media, however they approach comms, however they approach email, and hope for the best. Sometimes when people are having more friction on risk, I want to come in and ask you this. Within the same timeline of you doing what you're doing now, is it working out like you want it to? Can we surmise it's going to work out the same way like last quarter and the quarter before that? You see a pattern here. So that means if we diverted our energy or some of our investment budget to try this out over there, we were already going to take an L on the same cost anyway. If we took that same funds or even a slight smaller chunk of it and diverted it to somewhere else in the testing grounds, if we saw an uptick that drove additional value for you, that was going to help move things forward faster than what you were already going to do anyway, that wasn't going to work based off the data, based off your own experiences and what you know in your heart isn't going to work, but you do it anyway because it gives you the illusion you're doing something, but you're not moving things forward. What's the risk? It's a win-win. If it doesn't work, you was going to burn the money anyway to get the same result. But if it does and you do it at less and it gets you more results than before, and then you double down the full cost and it gives you even more, and now you're getting traction. And now let's say funding comes in from that interaction, that percentage fuels the next initiative or the next investment pool. Now we got something kicking. Why can't we do that? I deal with this all the time as a consultant and as a strategist and as an advisor. I love the insights. I don't want to pay for it. Or I can get enough from the podcast. Yeah, but don't you want a custom solution built just for you to help you do what you need to do, get where you need to go, create the right perception, the right framing for your positioning to drive more profitability? Don't you want to attract, activate, and advocate? Don't you want to sell more and market better? Then why not? You can only do so much within your own self. You can only try the old ways for so long. And you know what they say when you do the same thing for a new outcome. So, where's the real resistance? If anything, it's an opportunity for a great reward with low buy in. So, where is your positioning to frame yourself for value? How are you going to create the right positioning and perception for the framing to drive the profitability you seek? Stop saying, I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to market. Just be a better communicator. Be a better advocate for yourself to identify what you need to do. When you need to ask for help, double down on partnerships, double down on collaborations. More of the pie with help gives you more than you trying to do everything on your own to keep all the pie and you're getting none of the pie. I'd rather increase gradually than anything. I was learning off one of the nonprofits. I am part of the board on We Are Voters, and we were talking about how another nonprofit drives profitability by creating an offer. It's a $1 a month commitment. Anybody and everybody can commit to $1. Now, if you're looking at this from an executive director perspective, well, why would I do that? I don't want to do that. I need people to give me 1,000 a pop. Yeah, but I mean, if 1,000 people gave me $1 and they commit to that, you don't even miss $1 on auto pay every month. Most people on this planet wouldn't even notice it gone if we're talking subscription base. So if I frame that out, that's $1, that's $12 a year. 10,000 people, $12,000. Add another zero to that. 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 And then from that, let's say 1% of those people go from committing $1 because now they're in the system and they get an email, oh, you've helped us do this for, help us achieve this goal. They give 10. They give 100. They give 1,000. They are now advocates for other people to, hey, can you give $1 to this charity? People ain't going to even think twice about it. Boom, boom. Put my name, email, dollar, lock it in, buy. Check mark to pull $1 out every month until you cancel it. Thank you. I appreciate you supporting our cause, supporting our mission and our impact. Wow. But we're so narrow-minded in thinking I need each person that goes to my presentation deck, my email funnel system, consume my content, pay 1,000, pay 10,000, pay 100,000. Can you just give us $1? Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. There's no friction. Think about this. What is the primary cause of your friction? If you can reroute that friction to make it easier, you win. Activate now. Build a system out later. Let's try it differently this year. Let's try it differently with how we sell up and market down. That's the goal. That's the idea. That's what I got for y'all in this episode. Again, if you want to consume my newsletter, linkedin.com/in/find Troy. Go to newsletter tab. You'll be able to subscribe, strategize, market, grow. It's all about smart marketing and simplified growth strategies to help you grow, sustain, and scale your business. And I appreciate you subscribing to that. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave me a review. Please tag me at Find Troy on any social media account that you consume or you engage in these days. Let me know how it goes. I would love to spotlight people. I am open for more sponsorship opportunities, and I am open the door for more masterclass episodes. Keep in mind, though, transparently, if you don't reference an episode of mine in a way that I can tell you actually listen to it, and you're positioning yourself in a way that would land with my audience, it's all about giving, not selling. You will have the opportunity to sell for sure. We'll have links for that too, but I'm all about giving. And if it's too tailored to your product or your service and not enough to your community and your impact, you will not be considered as a masterclass participant. But the floor is open. We are doing that more in 2025. I want to drive more value for my listeners on this podcast. I appreciate it, but I need your help. I'm open for sponsors and collaborators. I'm open to other things as well. My speaker calendar is open for the year. So feel free to ping me if you would like for me to speak, paid preferred. But I do commit to X amount of events for nonprofit, college, community, and social good activities as well. Go to troy@findtroy.com if you want to reach out, or findtroy.com and reach out on my contact form to schedule those activations, if you will. Look, I don't know about y'all, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I want to do better. And sometimes, as we say in the Black culture, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, it's time. I think some of y'all are sick and tired of being sick and tired of not selling and not marketing better. So let's put in our own hands and let's be better communicators, which is going to help fuel us selling better and marketing better. Let's sell up and market down better this year. Thank y'all for listening. Check you later.
And that's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed this episode of I Digress. What was your takeaway? Care to share your thoughts and tag Troy on social media? You can find him on all platforms at Find Troy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review or comment for this episode from wherever you're listening. Looking for a marketing strategist to build the structure, strategies, and systems you need to get the success you want and the ROI you desire in your business? Book a discovery call to talk with Troy at findtroy.com. And as Troy's philosophy goes, imagination is the engine, content is the fuel, social media is the highway, marketing is the roadmap, sales is the destination, culture is the GPS. Thanks for listening.